Self-regulated online learning is important. Self-regulated learning refers to learning strategies that involve metacognition, strategic action, and motivation to learn. Self-regulated learning highlights the fact that individuals have autonomy and control over their learning process and are able to monitor, regulate, and direct actions toward the acquisition of information and improvement of performance. Learners require metacognition, strategic action, and motivation for planning their learning activities, monitoring their work, controlling the factors that are necessary for knowledge acquisition, and strategizing appropriately. Proper utilization of these self-regulated learning skills might lead to successful online learning. The analysis included 15 studies from the years 2004 to 2014. The 15 sources were selected from 10 peer-reviewed educational technology journals. The analysis only included sources with the words online learning, web-based, and self-regulated learning as part of the title. The studies selected were conducted in online medium, with participants ranging from 20 to 2,738. To be included in the analysis, the journal sources had to include research participants. This means that meta-analysis, book reviews, and editorial articles were excluded. Data collection were from studies that used research methods of experiment, quasi-experiment, surveys, and correlation. The data were drawn from quantitative research that were conducted with hypermedia, web-based, online, or blended learning. The participants of the studies were university students. The analysis reviewed 3 sub-themes associated with self-regulated online learning. These sub-themes were relevance of self-regulated learning, acquisition and improvement of SRL, and demographic variables associated with SRL. Analysis of the literature indicated that self-regulated learning is relevant to greater learners' perception of motivation to learn. Students' motivation benefited from web-based self-regulated learning. Students showed significant improvement on all 4 subscales of motivation and demonstrated greater responsibility for learning. SRL is also relevant to the development of SRL skills of self-efficacy for learning and performance. Self-efficacy for learning and performance were related to the final grade of learners. SRL also differentiates attitudes towards internet and computer, in that increased SRL was associated with positive attitude towards internet and computer. Self-regulated learning skills could be acquired through the use of persuasive short messaging service. Goal analysis, evaluations, and management forms promoted the use of SRL. SRL skills can also be acquired by increasing students' value for their courses. With regards to improvement, SRL can be improved through varied modalities. These include building in SRL into course components, greater internet experiences, and creating greater flexibility in the learning environment. Furthermore, SRL can be improved through the use of technology and online resources, asking specific questions, and through the use of knowledge visualization. the examination of the relationship between demographic variables of education, age and gender, and self-regulated learning yielded varying results. A study reported that learners who had higher education were more likely to use self-regulated learning strategies of study management in online learning environments. With regard to age, the relationship with SRL was unclear, in that in one study, older Thailand students used more SRL strategies. In another one, the use of SRL did not differ among varied Chinese age groups. Concerning gender, the finding is also unclear, given that Turkish male and female students taking an online computer programming course did not differ in the use of SRL strategies, whereas Chinese distance male learners use more SRL strategies than females. The analysis presented evidence for the support of the importance of self-regulation strategies in online learning environments. Given the nature of online learning, where the learners do not receive face-to-face guidance, but rather are expected to regulate their own learning, learners need the SRL skills such as goal setting, planning, controlling, monitoring their activities, and evaluating their outcomes in order to achieve optimal performance. This self-regulation can be stimulated in online learning by content developers and instructors through embedded self-regulated learning strategies such as self-monitoring and self-evaluation activities in content development and assessment of online courses. Self-regulated learning skills could be enhanced through learner, course, and instructor and course designer factors. Learner factors such as valuing of courses, knowing where to find and how to use online resources, feeling satisfied with courses are essential. Internet experience appeared important to the use of self-regulated online learning skills. Online learners who had more internet experience used more SRL skills. This suggests that it would be necessary to assess learners' internet experience prior to encouraging them to take online courses. Learners who lack internet experience might need additional guidance to develop SRL strategies, as knowledge of where to find specific resources and how to use them is essential to web-based learning. Course factors include technology through which the course content are made available to learners. The course content itself could include SRL strategies and interesting material that could motivate learners to use more SRL skills. The findings indicated that embedded specific cognitive strategies, performance control strategies, and self-efficacy strategies improved students' use of SRL strategies. Also, use of questions only enhances SRL skills, whereas questions and feedback could impede SRL strategies. The instructor and course designer factors suggest that course instructors and designers can teach or embed strategies in course content to activate or improve online learners' use of SRL strategies. Instructors could be more flexible with learning requirements and content, and thus encourage SRL skills in learners. The findings in this study suggest that SRL strategies are necessary skills that online learners would need to possess for successful knowledge acquisition. SRL strategies are not inherent in learners. They are skills that can be developed through exposure to appropriate online method, technology, or face-to-face training. The findings also revealed that there are multiple issues that would need to be considered in planning strategies for stimulating SRL in online learners. These issues include learner motivation, level of internet experience, ability to locate online resources, and satisfaction with the online course. Instructor factors such as use of questions and feedback to stimulate learners' SRL would need to be properly explored for possible adverse effects on the learners. Instructors might need to be flexible with contact and time so as to produce better SRL skills in learners. The use of SRL strategies for enhancing online learning and performance require instructors and course designers to promote students' acquisition of self-regulated learning strategies and shift responsibility for the learning process to learners. Learners need to develop their self-regulated learning skills. Learners need to set goals that will enable them to organize self-learning strategies that could maximize their performance. In addition, the analysis suggests that learners could improve their intrinsic goals and self-efficacy through more use of the internet, implying that online experience is an important component of self-regulated learning, and therefore, learners who do not have adequate access to internet would need alternate ways of improving their self-regulated learning strategies. Learners also need to value their courses to activate SRL skills. The findings also suggest that learners who develop self-regulation skills will be able to learn with less intervention from the teacher and take more responsibility for their learning. One limitation of these studies is the use of studies from many countries, which might have contributed to the inconsistencies found in the relationships between demographic variables and SRL. Age, gender, nationality, educational level, and internet skills might have impacted the results. For example, Chinese men are expected to be in control of their daily activities more than women. In such a culture, there might be gender differences in the use of SRL strategies. It might be helpful to examine several SRL gender studies from countries with similar ideologies in order to better understand the role of gender in SRL. The use of studies conducted on varied media, online, blended, face-to-face, and phone or online, could have impacted the study.